I want to talk to you guys about Ronde Barber. In our game, where availability is everything, this guy was the most available player in the history of the game positionally. He played 17 years. He never missed a game. I had the pleasure of working with him for 5 of those years, and I saw week in and week out the challenge of what it meant to be available. 2002, we're on a Super Bowl run. We become the eventual champions. He breaks his thumb on a Sunday afternoon home game. Thought the streak was in definitive jeopardy. Man, he gets up Monday morning. He has surgery. He has a stent placed in his thumb. Not only did he play the following week, he was in stretch lines for practice on Wednesday. Post-practice, I saw him catching balls with one hand in preparation for the game. Wouldn't you know it, we go out, we play the legendary Brett Favre in Green Bay in a big-time divisional game at home, and we win the game. We win the game because he picks off Brett Favre with one hand in the fourth quarter of that game. His signature play of all time might be the NFC Championship where he picked six Donovan McNabb late in that game. If you really watch the clip of that game, of that play, man, his body was in disarray. he had a bad knee, a hamstring, and a separated shoulder. This guy understood what it meant to be available and show up for his teammates all the time.
Of all the players and coaches I was fortunate enough to be around who have busts in this Hall of Fame, this guy right here, Larry Allen, he might have done his job better than everybody else did their job. A lot of people talk about the 700-pound bench press where the bar is bending. I got it. I think there are a lot of people who are strong. Not many guys had that strength and that power and transferred it to the field. Larry Allen would drive 300-pound defensive linemen 10 yards off the ball. He would run around pulling on an outside run, and he would launch 250-pound linebackers through the air in the National Football League. And the motor behind all of it was this intense pride. He was the most prideful teammate, most prideful football player I ever was around. You beat him in a pass rush in May, you beat him in training camp, you beat him in the Super Bowl, he's coming back after you, and he's getting after your neck. Larry Allen, one of the all-time greats, amazing teammate. We sure do miss him.
Randy Moss. You got Moss! Everyone knew that as a kid. I grew up saying that. Then I get to New England in 2010, and you got to line up against this guy. First in-stadium practice, I get to be in the stadium. Randy Moss would be like a big gazelle running at you. You never could figure out how fast he was running. So I remember backpedaling the first time, like, I'm good. Ball goes 50 yards over my head, touchdown. The stadium goes crazy. Second time, same thing. I'm pressing. I was like, I'm not going to let him do that. Runs clean by me. Second 50-yard touchdown of the day. I'm still mad at Brady because I think Brady attacked the rookie on purpose. But Randy prepared me for my season that year and then ultimately my career.
Troy Polamalu, or Baby Jesus as we call him in Pittsburgh. Man, the most endearing teammate I've ever been around, player or coach. Man, this guy's genuine humility and love for the game and quiet demeanor was an unbelievable trait for a guy that played the way that he did. We gave him more latitude, quite frankly, in Pittsburgh than anyone I've ever coached. He had such instincts for the game. He had a feel for moments, and you didn't want to stifle that. And because he was such a humble guy, you knew it wasn't ego-driven, statistics-driven. He just wanted to win. He was a pleasure to coach and be around, and we all love supporting that element of his game.
It was the middle of the 1995 season. We had just signed Deion Sanders with the Dallas Cowboys. His first game was Week 9 against Atlanta. We walk into the locker room. He's sitting in his locker, and his uniform is draped on the floor in front of him. Socks, pants, jersey, wristbands, elbow pads, the do-rag that he used to wear. And he would sit there and visualize all the great plays that he was about to make. And I realized at that point that Deion Sanders is a little bit different. And then the games start, And the whole world, our whole football team, saw how different he was. He was quicker than everybody, faster than everybody, stronger than people gave him credit for, smarter than people gave him credit for. He was one of those guys who simply, week in and week out, was the best football player on the field. Deion Sanders, one of my old teammates with the Dallas Cowboys.
Darrelle Revis, I got a chance to see him when I was in college. He was at the University of Pittsburgh. When I was at Rutgers, we all wanted to be like Revis. Then he joins the New York Jets, and I play against him year after year after year. Then one summer, right before he joined the team, I went out there and trained with him in Arizona, and I got to see why he was so good. We did one-on-ones with a bunch of college wide receivers. He didn't give up one catch. They got mad, said he's sitting on every route, so they ran deep. He turned, ran, broke up the pass. Then when he got to New England in 2014, we go on to win a Super Bowl. He practiced the same way. Never wanted to give up a catch. If he did, he got mad. In one-on-ones, he would go over and over and over again, preparing himself for the season. I got to watch and try to model my game after this guy, but no one like him. Revis Island was truly a lockdown island.
The great Tony Dungy, my professional blueprint. I have an interesting story. It's February of 2001. I'm coaching college football, out recruiting. I get a call on my cell phone. It's Tony Dungy's assistant that said he would like to speak with me. Quite frankly, I thought it was a joke. I said, hey, I'm a little busy. Can I call you back in about an hour? I go in, I do my work. An hour or so later, they call back, and it's Coach Dungy on the phone. And so certainly after I finished apologizing profusely, we got down to business, and I had an opportunity to interview and eventually work for him. And it's such an honor to work shoulder to shoulder with your professional idol. Certainly he is a legendary coach as he stands here in the Hall of Fame, but more impressive as a man, a blueprint for me professionally, but I learned so much from him personally, and thankful that I had an opportunity to work shoulder to shoulder with my idol.
A lot of people who follow football think Michael Irvin is this flamboyant guy. I know a different guy, teammate for 8 years. 3 days before training camp, 10 messages on my phone read, get up to the workout facility, we're throwing tonight, 105 degrees, July 18th in Dallas, Texas. Michael Irvin, I show up, speed TDs, white socks, rubber girdle, gray shorts, weighted vest, shoulder pads, helmet, Walter Payton mouthpiece coming out of his face mask. Okay, we're doing the routes, 5 metabolics, ran 50 routes, run the route, burst 15 yards, jog back. You do 10 of them, you go to the other side. I watched this guy, with he and I, the only guys on the field, work harder and work more competitively than I've ever seen anybody do anything. I walked off the field that night and said, that's what greatness looks like. That's what Michael Irvin is.
Aeneas Williams. Really the reason I have a special relationship with Bill Belichick now. 2012, I'm speaking at the Rookie Symposium, so is he. We stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning. He's just giving us lessons about being a pro, being in the NFL. He looks at me, goes, how often do you talk to Coach Belichick? I'm a young player. I said, I avoid Coach Belichick. I don't want to talk to him. And he looked at me and he said, you have the greatest football mind in the room right next to you. You don't go talk to him? That doesn't make any sense. Why? Ever since then, I made it my mission, well, eventually, to go talk to Bill, be upfront, have conversations, learn about football, learn about life. All that was due to Aeneas Williams challenging a young player that he had just met that weekend. I appreciated that challenge and accepted the challenge.
Derrick Brooks. In Tampa, Florida, we call him the Don, as in like a mafia boss. He was that strong of a leader, but his methods were very, very specific. His mantra was deep breaths and details. This guy was always on the details. He demanded that his co-workers were as well. This is a guy that captained a defense that had the likes of John Lynch, Warren Sapp, and Rondy Barber. But no question, this guy was the unquestioned leader. It was his relationship with the game, his commitment to the game, and the way that he led.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.